Do you ever feel like you kind of suck at life? Because I've been there. And today's guest is LaKiesha McDonald, and she is going to be sharing her testimony of how she is a winner every single day. And she has poured that into my life, and I hope that she can pour that in yours. So please sit back and be inspired. She's the founder of #WeWinninEveryday, and I expect you guys to use that hashtag to be a winner every day. Right after this show, after you see it, you feel like a winner, please post about it and let us know. And I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to have you on. And I actually met her when she was a speaker at a She Became conference, which was I Am Enough. And the previous guest also was from that conference as well. But she was up on stage and giving her whole heart, letting me know that I was a winner. And after she spoke, they had a question, and they're like, "What'd you learn?" And I raised my hand and I was like, "I'm a winner." And then they gave me a gift card, and I was like, "That's right, I'm a winner."
Right.
So if you say you're a winner, you just never know what's going to happen.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
When did you discover that you're a winner?
Wow, what a great question. I think I've always known it, but I think that there are situations that happen in our lives, and we hit a lot of milestones, through the journey of life, and you grow from those things, and you start kind of not seeking perfection, because seeking perfection is very exhausting, and you start seeking your purpose. And so for me, I think I've always known, like deep down inside somewhere, that I had purpose and that my life was destined for something great. And at some point in time, I did attach to that belief and continue to pursue that purpose.
I'm sure it took a lot to get to that point, though.
Absolutely.
And we're going to discuss that because
Let's do it.
it's all a part of your testimony.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I've had the pleasure of hearing a little bit about her story, and it's been a blessing. So please, if you're watching right now, sit back and, like I said, be inspired because it's a good one. It's a good one.
Thank you so much.
So going back into like your childhood, how did you know God as a child, or is that kind of something that kind of sparked somewhere else in your path?
We went to church. We went to church every Sunday. I remember doing that as just very young. I even look at pictures sometimes of us dressed up for Easter. And so I was introduced to the Lord at a very, very early age. I was born in South Central Los Angeles, and I was born into a very volatile home. There was a lot of physical abuse, tons of physical abuse towards my mother. And it left a real lasting impression on me. And so I carried a lot of the things that I had seen as a small child. And so I don't know if I was connected to, God as I was kind of growing up in my adolescence. When I was probably about 15 or 16, I went on a kind of a mission trip. I became a part of a group called Young Life. And I didn't really know anything about the group. I knew that they were Christians, and I knew that they believed in God. But I just wanted to go because it was an opportunity, for one thing, to travel. And so we went to Rosarita, and we were able to build 5 houses and a church.
Wow.
And one night, I remember there was a prayer group, and I accepted the Lord into my life, and I was 15 or 16. It still didn't become real for me. It still didn't become a part of a lifestyle. It was just something that happened. I was glad that it happened. I had experienced it. I would say later in life, I began to understand about relationship. And so
that happens a lot. I know a lot of people, even for myself, going to summer camp and you're on that high, you feel Jesus, you're like, I'm giving my life to God. And as soon as you're not consumed in that environment where people around you are supporting you and pouring that into your life, as soon as you're out of that, it's like, now what?
Exactly. Which is why, I try to encourage people to, find their purpose. Doing what I do, going out and speaking, a lot of people will come up to me and they say, "Oh my gosh, I want to talk like you, and I wish that I could do this like you, or I wish that I could do that like you." And quite honestly, I'm holding it down for Keish. Like, we don't need another LaKiesha, right? What we need is another person who's connected to their purpose, another person who has a heart to serve, another person who wants to be an inspiration to others, another person who loves and cares about other people. Because if you want to be anything like me, those are my traits. And I'm
you had
hoping.
to go through a lot.
Do you understand?
Oh yeah. Oh,
and so
yeah.
I'm hoping that that's the DNA that passes through to the next person that I'm able to touch, or else it's all been done in vain. And I don't ever want to just be of service just for the sake of being a service. I want there to be a result.
Well, and it took LaKiesha quite some time and a lot of struggles and a lot of trials to get to where she is today.
It's true.
You don't just become a motivational speaker just to be a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
There's pain, there is hardship, there are things, there are blood, sweat, and tears that go into making somebody like yourself.
It's very true. And I think part of the reason why I did it is because I am a person who has survived a lot of traumatic incidents. Like I spoke about the abuse that I grew up probably the first 6 or 7 years of my life. I'm a person who struggled. I struggled with depression. I struggled with anxiety, and I struggled with depression. I struggled with not loving myself, never feeling like I fit in, never understanding why I was going through what I was going through. I started becoming this very hard person. I started becoming a person who didn't want to live anymore, quite honestly. And I remember I used to have a hard time saying that because of where I'm at today, and it's hard sometimes to look back. But that was the truth, and that was a part of the journey. And I remember saying, what am I going to do? Because one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to be out of this world at my own hands, right? Because that's a reality that people are dealing with. Or I am going to be this very bitter and hard and cold person. And I could feel my heart getting cold, right? I had completely and totally quit exercising that love muscle. And so I started seeking help. I speak about it openly. I had just gotten this really cool job. I was probably 24, 25 years old. I had just gotten this really cool job that had medical coverage. And I realized that I could get help. And I want to encourage people to do that because, you know, if we have a cold or if we're not feeling well, if we get a rash or something, the first place we go is to see a doctor. But when we're thinking and talking about mental health, it's such a taboo subject. And there's so much shame attached to those type of thoughts. But in order to get free, we can't continue to live in secrets with secrets. And we have to address those things that are within us. They must come out. They can only come out this way.
It's so true. It's so true. What do you see the hashtag we win in every day? What do you see that turning into? Is it like a hashtag that you see maybe people openly speaking about their struggles and, you know, accepting that despite those struggles they are a winner?
Listen, I want people to understand what a win is. If you're a person who deals with depression and you woke up this morning and you walked over and pulled your blinds back and you let sunlight into your house, that's a win. If you're a person who is at the hands of an abuser right now and you wake up this morning and you say, enough, I'm done, I'm leaving, I will not be disrespected this way again, and you commit that to yourself, that's a win. We tend to look at wins as, first of all, we tend to look at other people's wins. And we're very excited for them. And then we don't do our own inventory, right? And so we can feel underachieved at times. We can feel less than at times. But the truth is that I want everybody to understand your wins are not going to look like the person next to you. And if in the NBA, a team won by 2 points or 22 points, the win is in the win column. And so that's how we have to look at life. If you win by a little bit, if you got up this morning, or if it was something big, like you started your own business, a win is a win is a win. That's it.
And what about the hashtag? How do you want people to use it? Because I want, this is it.
So the email is the word hashtag dot winningeveryday@yahoo.com. But I market it with the actual hashtag because I think that's very relatable. And it's actually hashtag winning every day. And for me, I expect it to at some point become a movement. Because there are winners all over this world.
At some point can be now, guys. I'm telling you, use the hashtag.
I would love that. I would love that. And I want people, you know, we're building my Facebook page right now, and one of the things I'm going to be asking people to do, and I want everybody to email me so that I have your email address so I can let you know when we launch my page, which will be in the next 2 weeks, because what I want...
Oh, this is exciting. It's perfect timing.
It's perfect timing, because what I want is I want people to, every day, go on there and share a win. And it's not just for you, right? Mm-hmm. Success is not just for you. It's for people to see. And it's so much more enjoyable when we're able to share it
with others. Mm-hmm.
With others. But just imagine if you put your win on there and someone is struggling with that. What an inspiration. And I want us to be able, this is not about me. It really isn't. Even when I'm out speaking, I say all the time, it's not about me. It's not about me. I'm in the business of changing lives. That's it.
I feel you.
That's
I feel
it.
you. You know, people think that as far as a talk show host, it's about me, but let me tell you, it's not about me.
Right.
People are like, why don't you want your name displayed every time you're talking throughout the interview? And I'm like, well, I mean, it's not about, it's about LaKiesha. It's about the guests that I'm interviewing, because that's what I want to let shine, because God is clearly speaking through her. So
that's a beautiful thing.
Exciting.
That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to what you're doing besides the whole hashtag and everything you're doing, what does your life consist of?
I am a program specialist for Modesto Junior College. I run a lot of...
So that doesn't sound like a mouthful, but do you kind of like, what do you do with a program specialist?
Okay, so that's a great question. So basically, it's kind of a / program specialist, student success coach. So I support students with getting through obstacles so that they don't quit, so that they're able to finish. My focus is on disproportionately impacted students, which that could mean maybe they're disproportionately impacted due to their ethnicity, maybe they're disproportionately impacted due to their financial standings, but that's always been where my heart has been, is for those students who are not supposed to make it, right? And I have an opportunity. I do a series of workshops. I do professional workshops as well as personal, so I kind of am known as a professional personal growth strategist.
How cool is that?
Because I help people come up with plans to be successful.
Well, girl, we're going to talk after this episode.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah, and if other people want to talk with you, what's the best way to do that?
I would say to email me at LaKiesha, or excuse me, it's McDonald L.
Okay.
At MJC.
We'll go ahead and put it up on the screen for you guys. And
oh, perfect.
Yeah, go ahead and email her, whether you want some encouragement or...
Please, please. I would love that. I would love that.
And with your whole faith thing, I mean, do you see this movement being, a way to glorify God in it as well?
I think that everything that I do is a way to glorify God. You know, it was interesting because I think that you knew that I was a woman of faith.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt it, and I just went up to her, and I was like, hey, you believer? I
Right?
didn't even say hi. I didn't introduce myself. I want to get straight to the point. I mean,
right? And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I never have to walk in a room and announce to everybody that I'm a black woman.
No.
You just know, right?
We're all different shades of brown.
You see it. So the thing is that I don't have to, it's like, for me, this stuff it works through. It's my lifestyle. It's my lifestyle. You know, you can minister anywhere. You really can. You can pray for a person and they don't even know you're praying for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But that's what my hope is. My hope is that whenever I come into contact with anybody on any level, in any place, that they walk away feeling like they can do it, whatever it is that they want to do. I always want to speak encouragement to someone.
Do you ever feel like you have those times, especially when, maybe you aren't up on stage and you're just in the grocery store and you feel frustrated or annoyed by people? Do you ever feel yourself struggling with really showing love to others? Is there ever a point where you struggle with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm very human. And I've worked very, very hard to be very comfortable with who I am and in my own skin. And one of the things that I tell people when you come to my workshops or when we're in conversation, my goal is to help you to learn how to live in your own skin boldly and unapologetically, because I think that we're best when we can live our very best authentic selves. Does that make sense? So do I feel that way? Yes. There's times where people drive me crazy.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not trying to be anything more, and I certainly don't want you to think that I'm one way and then find out I'm some another way. I want you to see I'm many dimensions. You know, like I was telling you earlier.
Same here.
I'm very much an introvert. You can't tell that. I'm very shy. You can't tell that, but I'm a lot of things.
I know. How did you end up on stage, and how did you become a public speaker? I mean, please tell the viewers that, because, you know, a lot of times people look at LaKiesha and they're like, I want to be like you. And you're like, well, I didn't want to be like me.
Right. It's true. It's a great responsibility. I would tell people that. There's no room for not being able to be transparent, you know. How did I get on stage? Someone asked me to do it. And I'm not a person that's comfortable with living in fear, you know. So I did it. I was actually asked to do a workshop for cover letters and resumes. And I'm like, I'm good at that, sure. And it became very natural for me. And then I noticed that as I started talking to people and I started seeing why people weren't growing professionally, it had a lot to do with the fact they were very insecure with themselves. And you start being able to see beyond the layers of people. And so even when I'm doing a cover letter resume workshop, I'm still looking into the heart of people. And usually when you walk out of one of my workshops, you understand how valuable you are and your wealth, right?
Oh, yeah.
You've increased your value and your wealth.
I was one of the attendees at the place that she was speaking. And I'm a fairly positive person, and I feel like I have a fairly good outlook on life because of my Lord and Savior.
Absolutely.
But, you know, she was just up there. She was so convincing that I was a winner. And then I said I was a winner, and then the Lord blessed me, and I was like, okay, I guess everybody needs to say that they're a winner, because you never know what's going to come out of it.
You are. Words are powerful. Words have the ability to kill things, and they have the ability to breathe life into them. And so we have to be very mindful with what we speak over our own lives.
That's a struggle. That's a struggle sometimes.
Absolutely it is. But you're
How
a
do
winner.
you get better at that? You just tell yourself you're a winner. You can write it on your mirror and
Listen,
make it your background screensaver.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. So I was an athlete. I played basketball. And one of the things that was most important about me being a great athlete was that I had to practice. I had to practice every day. And I had very strong points in my game, and I had very weak points. And I was able to identify those. And so the whole winning idea for me is, it's not that you're not going to experience losses. It's what do you do with those? Do you take yourself out of the game and not show up for the next game because you lost?
That's a really good point. How have you used your losses per se, or the struggles or the pain that you've been through, to really push you where you are today? You know, when you look back on the times where you struggled with witnessing horrible things happening to your mother, how can you find joy in looking back into your past like that?
I made it. I made it. I'm not there anymore. And, you know, oftentimes we become stagnant in life because we continue to live in the past. And when terrible things happen to you, you have a lack of trust for people. You don't openly love. You hold on to secrets, right? Remember we talked about that earlier. We're holding on to secrets, right? You have to be that. And what you have to know is that you're going through something.
Oh man, I have been using that like ain't no business since you said it, because it is so powerful. I've had some people reach out to me about, you know, just them being depressed or suicidal, and I mean, there's not much you can say to a person other than, all I can tell you is that it's a season, and you're going through it, and whether that's a good season or a bad season, the good times aren't always going to last. You're going through the good times too.
Listen, the word "through" for me is an action word, because it means I'm moving. So I have a choice as to how long I'm going to stay in a situation. We really do. And there's times when I choose to stay bummed out about stuff, right? And then there's other times where I don't. And that's where we go to where I'm saying, I don't strive for perfection. That's exhausting. What I do strive for is purpose. And so as long as you have an idea of where you want to be and what you want to do, you're not going to be able to stay disconnected from that for long. And so even when you're talking about your relationship with Christ, you're not able to stay disconnected from that for long. Mm-hmm. It's a source.
Exactly.
It's a main source.
When it comes to your busy life, how
Mm-hmm.
do you stay connected to that source? Because it's hard sometimes. It's so easy to put God on the back burner. And I've seen it. I've done it myself. Mm-hmm. And how do you prevent yourself from doing that?
I don't always do it. I don't always prevent myself from doing it.
Sometimes it happens.
I was going to say, you know what? God is really good about, he's a jealous God. So he's really good about putting the brakes on when you can't. Right?
Yeah, like letting me forget my phone charger at work
all
so
that.
I can get off my phone.
It's all of those things. It'll be sometimes, you're driving and the other day my radio just went out. And I always have the radio on. It just went out. Mm-hmm. And I'm driving and
little
I'm like,
distractions we never think
like
of.
little things. And so for me, when those type of things happen, I'm like, right? Like I automatically say, that's you, Lord. Mm-hmm. That's you, Lord. And so I think that there's days where, Shasta, there's days where I don't want to live nice. I don't want to act like I wake up every morning and that I ride to work on a unicorn and that there's Skittles that are, dropping from the sky, because it isn't. But I have a purpose. I'm more dedicated to that than anything else.
It's truth. I love your transparency. Are you this transparent on social media?
I like to believe so.
Okay. No, I'm just curious because being transparent on social media is one of the hardest things to do because it's so easy to make your feed look like you have the perfect life, like you are living the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you looked at my feed, you probably would see that. But I think I look at other people's feeds and I think that too. But there's this reality that I think all of us know. Mm-hmm. I think there's a reality that I think all of us knows. And I believe in giving people the space they need to be who they need to be, whether it's on social media or I've had people sit and I know that they're not being truthful and sit and look me right in the eye. And I think, you know what? If that's the space you need right now, that's the space you need right now. I don't take a lot of things personal. Mm-hmm.
Well, that hard shell, I think, is something that's important to have.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and with your line of work, I'm sure not everybody is super positive towards you, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you deal with that?
I know who I am. Mm. I know who I am. I'm very secure in who I am. I don't feel like I have to explain to anybody why I think I'm an articulate person or why I think I'm a smart person. I don't think I owe anybody an explanation as to why I think I'm beautiful. I am who I am. I'm not set in my ways. I'm always open to grow and learn. But I know who I am.
I'm seeing this constant trend, and knowing who you are is one of the most important things you could ever comprehend. Mm-hmm. I ask people all the time, who are you? And they say, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor,
yeah.
I'm a student. It's like, no.
Yes.
When you take away those labels, who are you?
Exactly.
Who are you at the end of the day?
And that's why a lot of people, they get lost when they, just like you'll see people who maybe have lost their job.
I was just thinking that. If you lose your job, that identity, you don't know who you are anymore.
Exactly.
We can't live that way. Because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is set in stone.
There you go.
We could lose our job. We could lose our spouse or, somebody that we are, we've put our identity and attach it to.
There you go. But when you understand your value and when you understand and you love yourself, right, then anything can come toward you. Anything can come toward you. And you won't be moved or shaken.
And you're still winning.
There you go. You have to be a winner from the core. You have to be. Personal growth is an inward out thing. It has nothing to do with your physical appearance. It has nothing to do with any of those things. It is an internal thing. That's it.
Yeah. Guys, I say let's start this trend. I'm serious. Like, whatever you went through today, whatever you're going through, just think about something that you're winning about.
Absolutely.
Maybe you woke up, made yourself coffee, because Maybe made yourself coffee instead of going to Starbucks.
That's a big deal.
I applaud you. Because, girl, I know it's difficult.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, when you can actually drink out of like a cute mug, it's like,
With
you know.
your, I do love the mug, by the way.
Right.
I do love
you know,
the mug,
I've
by
had
the
some
way.
people ask if they can get it. You guys can.
Look at you.
Just to look it up.
I love that. I love that. That's
I
awesome.
really need to get some for my guests, though. I also have a hashtag. You know that?
I didn't know that. What is your hashtag?
Hashtag. Oh, I was like reading. I got distracted.
That's awesome. Hashtag.
It's hashtag sit back and be inspired.
I love that.
You know, because that's all you got to do with these shows. It's just sit back. I mean, you could binge watch Shasta's Journey if you want, and man.
You're quite an
be all over
inspiration
the
too,
place.
though. But you're quite an inspiration too.
Thank you.
Your energy and your zeal for life. It's admirable. I love being around you. You have great energy.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I'm so blessed that I've been able to meet you. And the whole point of Shasta Journey is to interview people that I've met that have inspired me. And I'm like, I need to get this person on the show because they need to inspire others. And if that's something you guys want to do, you guys can go to Shasta Journey and share your story as well. And we do only have a few minutes left. But is there anything that you just kind of want to like pound into the viewers?
Just real quick, I think that there's somebody out there right now that on the tip of their tongue is that they want to be able to say that I no longer want that spirit of depression on me, or that they want to say enough is enough, no more to their abuser. They want to say that I am enough, and I think that that's on the tip of your tongue. And I hope that after today and in watching this, that you're able to get those words out and that you're able to live that life of purpose. I really hope that for you.
What's next for LaKiesha?
We're going to be launching hashtag we, so that's a really, really big deal, and locking down a few more speaking engagements. I've got people who are interested in that, and I'm really looking forward to going out and speaking as much as possible. So I'm hoping that people will contact me so that we can make those things happen.
I want to travel and speak with you.
I would love for you
That'd
to
be so
come.
fun.
I would
Oh my
love.
gosh.
I would love for you to come.
That'd be great.
That'd be
like
awesome.
my name next to LaKiesha. Like, I'll be like, yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be fantastic. Okay, we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen, guys, and I'll invite you all to be there. If you guys want to contact LaKiesha, we're gonna go ahead and put the email up for you guys, and that way you guys can contact her if you guys have speaking engagements, or maybe you need some advice or encouragement. Maybe you want to know why you are a winner. I'm sure she'd be happy to tell you that you are.
Absolutely.
Because she definitely poured that into my life, and encourage you guys to use the hashtag. And you know, what's something that made you feel like a winner today, LaKiesha?
That I'm actually here on this platform, and I think that I envision myself doing great things, but I don't know if this was something that I caught the vision of yet. This is a win for me, and so I'm very appreciative. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for being on the show. And I'm so grateful that you thought that being Shasta's Journey was a winning moment.
For sure.
My winning moment today was walking in heels all day. That's a winning moment right there.
That's so great.
Yeah, and making my hair not look frizzy and poofy like a lion's mane. That's a win right there. So celebrate your wins, guys. Love one another, and I hope that God just continues to bless you and pours into you. If you guys want to share your story, go to shastasjourney.com. Look us up on all social media platforms because I'm on there, and feel free to go get you guys a mug because I'd love to sit back and be inspired with you guys. God bless.